Hi there, this is Alison from Boomerang Pilates, and we're going to talk about knees and hips and external rotation today. In terms of knee positioning, I think it's important to remember that the hyperextension that we see, or the hypermobility that we see in the knee, is not always the problem in and of itself. It may be the symptom that we're seeing as a result of lack of stability and neutral femur or thigh bone in the hip socket. So now you're going to lose my head and I'll just talk to you. So here is my kind of natural, I've been teaching 15 times and I'm super tired. This is the way I stand. This is my sort of corrected the way I stand, but can you see there's still a little bit of an excessive opening in the back of my knee joint. So typically the direction would be, well, soften your knees, which is great. That gets rid of that hyperextension of the knee. But if I turn here, if I just, can you see how my knees are kind of, I'm a little knock-kneed in my hyperextension? If I bend the knees, that's great, it softens, but they pull in. They follow that internal rotation of my thigh bone. Whereas if I externally rotate, that changes the trajectory of my legs. So this is hard to see, but here's my hyperextended knee. And I'm not going to bend my knee at all. But if I externally rotate my thigh bones, it changes the orientation of how my thigh bone and my shin get together. This is complicated work to do, but it's really important. So, as a visual cue, I have drawn on the backs of my legs.
Here I've drawn little green lines on the backs of the ligaments that connect my thigh bone to my shin. And as I externally rotate my thigh bones so that those lines level up and point straight back, now my thigh bone and my shins are actually properly organized. And if I do that sideways, you can maybe see, there's my external rotation. You can see a green line to the side. And as I activate my hip muscles, and the green line disappears because it's now pointing back, I also have lost that over pop to the back. So sometimes it's worth exploring, where does the problem come from? Whether you are dealing with your own body or whether you're a teacher and you're working with clients, it's really important to find out if the problem that you see is coming from where you see it, or do you need to look somewhere further up or down the chain. As an additional note to how you would try this exercise, you want to start with your feet pointing straight forward, because that's where we identify the internal rotation of the femurs relative to some kind of stable neutral, so in this case a forward foot and the ground. When you externally rotate, you need to let your feet roll and relax over to the outside edges so that you avoid torquing your knees. Hyperextending knees and unstable hip joints. Find your external rotation, see what that does for your hyperextension in any position.